Hi guys, thank you for being on today. Maxi will lead today's meeting.
Can you make me a host? Please, thank you. Okay, so today we have been talking the past few weeks a lot about social media and what to post, and now we're going to talk about how to post. Specifically how to write a post.
Oh, I love that. That's pretty.
Thank you. So let's get into it. So we're going to talk about how to write social media captions and a few other things as well. So we're first going to talk about, writing as you speak, the power of emojis, pictures, 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 short versus long posts, structure of a post, and then extra tips. And then we'll talk about conference at the very end. So here's the thing. Generally speaking, when you are posting on social media and you are writing a social media caption, people want to be able to hear you, meaning they don't want you to mimic the writing style or the language of another person. When they're reading your post, if they know you, they want to be able to hear your voice in their head. Now, this is only possible, though, if you are writing as you and if you aren't trying to be someone you're not. So being you is incredibly important in all of this. And sometimes it can feel very unnatural to do that on social media, and we'll talk about how to get over that. So the key to writing as you speak is to speak informally. You have to remember Facebook specifically is a social media platform geared towards connecting you with people you know personally. So if you are connecting with people who you know, you're very likely going to be talking very informally and casually with them, right? So you have to do this in order to allow for other people to connect with you. If you create a barrier and distance between you and the people that you're talking to, then you're not going to be able to connect and it's not going to work. So one way you can write the way you speak is by using your favorite sayings or words. I like to say cool beans. I like to say, that's the only one that comes up to mind. Okay, so cool beans is the one that I know for myself. You may have certain sayings that you use that maybe other people don't use. You may have certain expressions or word choice. Just keep an eye out for those, or if somebody comments on it, take a mental note, and make sure to use that and incorporate that into a social media post, because that means you're talking the way just you specifically talk if they were, standing right across from you. And that's the whole vibe we want to give when we're doing social media, is that we are talking specifically to that one person, and that they're sitting in front of us, except for we're on the computer. Then it's also really important to use engaging and active language. So part of social media is entertainment, right? We're not just posting, I don't know, facts all the day, every day. We are posting things also to entertain other people. So you really only have like 5 or 10 seconds to get somebody's attention and keep it, or they're going to keep on scrolling. So in those 5 to 10 seconds, that is your window in order to make sure that they're hooked. And so it's important to make that happen by using this engaging and active language versus passive language. And we'll also talk about that. So the power of emojis, guys, emojis are life-saving. And that may seem a little bit dramatic, but I really mean it. Because I don't know how many times I said something that could have been misconstrued and could have come across as mean, but because I added an emoji, nobody got hurt or offended. And that is why emojis are so incredibly powerful. They also make you seem more personal. And the problem is with social media and with anything that you're writing is that since people can't see you and how expressive you normally are, they need cues in order to understand the tone of what you're writing in, right? So it's important that you include these, because there's a huge difference in how one person can read what you wrote and another person who can read what you wrote. You can make a joke, mean it funny, but somebody else can read it as rude and offensive. because they don't understand that you mean it as a joke. But adding an emoji like a crying laughing face or whatever can make all the difference of someone either laughing with you or getting upset with you. And obviously you don't want people getting upset with you. So the importance of emojis is explained here. So in email lines, actually, so when you get an email from like a company or something, or our emails, the likelihood that you're going to open is increased by 25% just by using emojis in the email line. So these are incredibly important, and this can also be translated to your social media post. More people are going to read your social media post if you include emojis than if you don't. It makes it seem more approachable. It makes it more fun, and people are just more engaged when they see emojis. Now, here's an example. It may be a challenge, but we got this. Insert a crying emoji. I didn't have access to emojis, so I can insert it. Or you can say, it may be a challenge, but we got this with like the strong bicep emoji. So these same exact set of words, but the emoji that is added to the end of this can make a big difference. I feel that by adding a crying emoji, it is sort of like I'm struggling, but I'm going to make this work, and it's going to be painful, and I'm having a really rough time with it. Versus with a strong bicep emoji, it comes across as strong and empowered and self-assured. So you want to use this to your advantage. If you know that using certain emojis give off a certain impression, so like using the strong bicep emoji gives more of an impression of you got your stuff together, you are self-assured, you are confident, then those are the emojis you want to use in comparison to emojis that may make you seem something you don't want to be. I don't want to come across as weak, so I try to stay away from emojis that will translate as that. So those are just some things to keep in mind. Now, pictures are important. Pictures are the very first thing anybody sees. So you're going to want to make sure that it's like the gateway to reading your post. People see the picture first and then read the post. The only other time that they don't see a picture is typically if you have like a shorter paragraph that you wrote, and so therefore it's like in bolder writing. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Like if it's a sentence or two, then you can make it that you have a background to what you're writing. And in that case, your words are going to be the thing that are going to grab a person's attention. But the pictures are really what's going to sell a person on if they want to read your writing or not. More often than not, if you don't include a picture with your post, people are not going to read the words that you wrote. So it's important to write and post a picture at the same time. Now, we already talked about it's important to have a really good caption, because that's what is going to either have a person read until the very end or not. So here's the structure of a good social media caption. So the first line, the first sentence, the first two sentences should capture your attention. You can ask a question, you can make a controversial statement, not too controversial, but you know what I mean, or a joke. Or for example, like if I wanted to post about Herblax, one way, and don't quote me on this, one way, it was a lot, but you'll see what I mean. One way you could grab the attention is by asking the question, did you know that when Elvis passed away, he had 14 pounds of poop in his system? Do you think that somebody will want to read the rest of that or be curious where you're going with it? I'm sure, I mean, heck, I would want to know what they're talking about. And then you can go and, make your point, right? But by making something like that, people are more likely to read it. Next step is to tell a story. People want to read stories. They do not want to read facts. If you are just writing facts and facts and facts, nobody's going to keep reading your post. And this is important because the longer people engage with your post, the more likely they are A, to go back to your posts and read them again, and B, they're also more likely to have your posts in their feed. If they like what you're writing now and what you're showcasing of your life, and they like how you're presenting, they're more likely to go back to your profile, look at your future posts, engage and interact with your future posts, and just generally be open to connecting with you. These posts are like either going to help people want to connect with you or not want them to connect with you. It's either or. So you want to tell a story to help them connect with you, right? So if you, for example, want to tell a story about your day, there are different ways of going about it. You can say, I went to the store, then I bought groceries, then I did this, then I did that. Boring, my opinion. Nobody's going to want to read that for very long. And I don't mean to be harsh with that. It's just, it's not very interesting. But if you want to make it more entertaining, think about what you would want to read in a book. And I'm not saying that you have to make it more flowery or whatever, but it's just people want to understand that there's an emotional connection to what you're talking about. And that's what separates a story from facts, is that emotional component, that human component. So, you know, if you say, yeah, I went grocery shopping today, and you know what? Grocery shopping is my favorite thing. I know a lot of people don't like grocery shopping because it takes a lot of time and the standing in lines, but I love standing in lines because I get to talk to the person in front of me. I get to see what kind of cool things are at the cash register that I really shouldn't want to buy, but you know, they grab my attention anyway. Here's a picture of what I ended up getting. That can be a way to make it into a story versus just facts. Now you can end then your social media caption with a call to action. It's not necessary, but like we talked about earlier, it is something to do if you want to engage with others. So ask a question, ask them to comment with something specific below, or you can simply end it on a funny note, right? End your story on a funny note. So other tips to include: use space to your advantage so your post doesn't look cluttered. Not like this here, because I mean, there's too much space between the tips part and then the rest. But what I mean with that is, if you want a sentence to stand out, you can by creating a line of space above it and a line of space underneath it. If there's a huge block of text, I'm immediately thinking, oh, that looks like a lot to read. Versus if it's spaced out into like smaller paragraphs, there's single lines, it looks a lot more appealing and easier for me to read. So I'm not as overwhelmed and I'm more likely to read it. Tag people in posts when it's appropriate. This does not mean tag random people you haven't talked to in forever or a day. But if you have, like, if you're meeting with somebody, tag them and you took a picture, tag them in the post. Because here's the deal. When you do that, you are landing and they accept that tag request, your post lands on their page. Now, this can be a super big advantage to you because people are curious. People are nosy and they're curious. So more often than not, they'll say, oh, this person met up with so-and-so. I wonder who that is. Let me check out their profile. And then they'll check out your profile. And if you like have engaging posts and things going on, they may have a more favorable opinion of you. So whenever you may meet them, like let's say at a party or whatever, they're going to be more open to connecting with you. Or should that friend of yours that you've met up with ever think about, hosting a Shaklee in-home, and that other person is invited and comes, they're A, more likely to come, and B, more likely to be open to Shaklee if they've seen your posts and can connect with you and see what you're about. We already talked about people should feel like they can hear you talking when they read your post. And then one way to figure out if you're writing the way you talk is to either read your post out loud, listen to it and hear if it sounds like you, or first speak it out loud and then write it out. So you make sure that it's really like the way you speak. Now here's when you want to say short or long. Short is for your Facebook and Instagram stories. It's for your funny posts, and it's for your engagement-driven posts. So if you saw my mom posted earlier, are you a coffee or a tea person? That's a very short engagement post. You don't need to write a lot for it, but it causes a lot of people to comment in your comment section. Long posts are great for generally posts in comparison to stories. Shaklee posts, so anytime you talk about the business or a product. And by long, I don't necessarily mean paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. I just mean longer than 3 sentences. And then any kind of posts you have where you're trying to demonstrate your values and communicate those with others. Now, last but not least, let's talk about conference. I'm super excited. This is a great opportunity to connect with others, to have a lot of fun, and you know, get dibs on the first new products and all of that. It will be, sorry, I got distracted. It will be between August 4th and 6th of next year. It will be in Kansas City, Missouri. They have not announced the hotels yet, but we will find out soon. We love Kansas City. We have a favorite place that we go in Kansas City. And currently the price is $99 and it will stay that way until November 12th. After that, the price will increase to $149 until January 31st, and then it will increase again until July 31st. So that's something to think about when you are signing up. So I wanted to ask though, before we stop or before I stop talking, what people's social media stats are. If you guys can put those in the comments, how many Instagram followers you have and how many Facebook friends you have, that would be fantastic.
Like right now, you mean?
Yep, right now. And if anybody does not have access to them, let me know. I can look it up for them, at least Instagram. Okay.
Maxi, you said, oh, yours +2, does it include already your number?
No, I meant those were 2 increased from last week.
Okay.
I think, unless I have this wrong in my memory, but I thought it was an increase of 2. And then as per usual, if you either want to speak it out loud or comment in the chat box, Dad. Okay, good use of emojis, Dad, good use. Then feel free to speak or comment with something that you're proud about, that you have done this last week, or an accomplishment.
And it does not have to be.
It does not have to be Shaklee related.
Yeah. So can I first say something about what you were talking about? I really liked it. I hadn't seen it beforehand, but I really, really liked your presentation.
Yeah, I forgot to ask if anybody had questions. I'm so sorry.
Yes. So what I wanted to say is what I really liked is that you said or mentioned to also post pictures and tag those that with others and tag those in it. And I think that is so super helpful, because what you just said is exactly what happened to me before, where I posted pictures with another person, and then that person's friend from a different state, different part of the country, friend requested me. And because I knew she was good friends with my friend, I accepted it. And she actually asked me about Shaklee later on down the line and became one of my very good, loyal Shaklee clients. I've never met the woman, but it can totally happen like that. And not only is it good for that reason, but also people just want to see that who you hang out with.
And also people want to see that you hang out with other people. You
Yes.
posting that you're hanging out with other people is signaling to them that you are open to connecting with others.
Yes,
And
to
that's
make friends.
really important if you want to grow your business through social media as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I love that you brought that up because it really rang true to me when I thought of that situation where that happened to me. So I think that's awesome. And what I like too is when you said to do stories, I think that is totally true because people want to know and learn about you. Some of them don't know you very, very well. So when you start a post with like, when I was little, I always wanted to marry a prince or something like that, you can be assured that people will want to know how this continues. Or when I was little, I never want, for example, when I was little, I never wanted to become a teacher. And now what do? I homeschool. So it's kind of ironic, right? So people want to know those kind of things and they get a little chuckle out of it, or they go like, oh yeah, me too, or oh no, I never wanted to, and all those kind of things. It helps them connect and understand you better.
And I think what's important to keep in mind is that people go onto social media for one out of 4 reasons. So either they want to be entertained, or they want to connect, or they want to help others, or they want to be educated / helped. So or given value to. So those are the main 4 reasons why people go onto any social media platform. So that's important to keep in mind so you can make sure that your posts address those 4 different needs. Does anybody have any questions about anything social media? Okay. Then do people, yes, Mom?
What would you recommend in terms of short and long posts? What kind of ratio? I mean, I know long posts are important for people to get to know you, but you also don't want to make every post a long post.
That's a good point. You don't want to make every post a short post, and you don't want to make every post a long post. Balance is ideal here. Ratio, I would say, I personally keep my short posts to maybe 30 or 40% of my posts, and the rest is long. Because the 30 to 40% is, like I said, it's mainly entertainment and engagement-driven posts. And those I ideally don't need a ton of, because they're really only meant to create more, engagement. So even the entertainment posts are there to create more engagement. And so those posts don't necessarily say much about me and who I am. So I don't want to have too much of that, because then people won't ever be able to connect with me just based on humor and based on like questions on, are you coffee or tea drinker? Those are great sprinkled in, but they shouldn't be the main post.
Okay, that makes good sense. Okay, Maxi, are you going to start with what you were proud of last week? I need a little time to think.
I would have appreciated more time too. But yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. So something I am proud of is I have been dedicating myself, really only the last 2 days, 3 days, to making our business more duplicatable in a sense, and creating systems for us. So for example, I created an e-newsletter that I find very aesthetically appealing, that puts all the information that are helpful for new distributors together. I had somebody sign up as a distributor 3 days ago, 2 days ago, I don't know. So I wanted to make sure that I had an email that I could send to him so that he had everything he needed in one email. And this is going to be such a helpful tool for all of us when we have new people sign up, because it takes away the time that we have to invest in showing them all of these things. It takes away their frustration having to find all of those things on their own. And it gives them something to work on when they get started, so they know what to do next. And I think that's the biggest question when somebody signs up is, what do I do next, right? And we're answering that question by having that newsletter. So I am proud of myself for that.
Oh, I know what I'm proud of. So I'm proud of myself. It's a different thing. It's not really that I did anything, but I overcame something. So I had a neighbor that I had been very nice to for quite a long time. And that neighbor was not very nice back. But I still gave him some of my protein bites today. So I'm very proud of that. Because first I didn't want to, and I had to really think about it. They were good. But no, I thought you have to put it aside. Hard times. Maybe they had a rough day. So I still gave him some of my protein bites.
And then afterwards, he did some yard work for us.
That's true. Yes. Okay. Who else did something, has something they are proud of?
I'm proud that I got over my comfort zone of not speaking to people about the business. I've gotten 3 people that's going to be talking to the business next week. I also am very proud and very happy that an individual that I've known for years who did not believe in supplementation whatsoever approached me about an issue he was having. He trusted me enough to follow my suggestions. And when he went back to the doctor told him surgery was off the cuff. They were not talking surgery anymore. And he's doing much better than what he did before. And the doctor was impressed. So I was very happy with that.
So he was able to avoid surgery
Yeah.
because of how well he or how much he had improved, right? In
Yep.
just a very short period of time.
2 weeks.
Yeah. And what products did he use?
First of all, he had diverticulitis, which meant that he was having severe pain all the time to the point we had no energy. He couldn't work. He was laying down because he hurt so bad and he couldn't eat anything. So I recommended that he have the protein drink, 1 scoop a day for the first couple of days to increase to 2 scoops into his shake. The fiber plan, just to use that 1 scoop or 1 teaspoon every time he had something to eat. I also had, because of digestive issues, goat yogurt to use, 1 teaspoon of goat yogurt every time he had something to eat, just 1 teaspoon, and then the probiotics to go along with that. And he's done wonderful since then.
Wow. That's pretty amazing, and pretty amazing that his doctor was so impressed by his progress. Good
And the
for
best thing
you.
about it is he ordered again.
Nice. Yeah, very, very nice. Good for you, Jack, for helping somebody to feel better and avoid surgery. That's huge. Yeah. Anybody else? Martina, you're muted if you're saying.
Yeah, I just realized that I have something. You know, in our little community, we are a small community of like 22 homeowners, and we have a board of directors, and they were planning to cut down our beautiful, beautiful trees. The one in the middle, you know, they're like huge. And some of them, they already did cut them down. So we got together, you know, with a lot of our neighbors, you know, and called for a meeting. And so far we have been able to stop these people from just, you know, cutting down the trees due to like needless fear, you know, the fear of, oh, somebody could hide under there, you know. So I'm really, really happy that we got all these people together, and were able then to draft a letter with what we wanted to see happening, you know, in our little community.
Awesome. That is so awesome. I know you were worried about those trees last time we talked. So
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you and so happy that you were able to avoid that. Because it takes so long for them to grow that tall again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Very, very awesome. Amber, can you hear us? Did you want to add anything that you did last week that you're proud of, no matter what?
Sure. So I'm horrible at remembering to do things, and there's like so many daily things that I would like to keep up with. So I started trying to habit track again in my planner. So
Ooh, love it. And it's color coded.
yeah, so there's a lot on here. So I'm giving myself grace for not doing everything every day.
Oh, good for you. Can we take a picture while you're right there?
Sure. Of the
No,
thing.
of you.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
I pulled a dad and had my eyes closed in at least one of those.
Oh no, do you want me to do
No,
again?
it's fine. We're good. We're good.
I can do a screenshot.
It's fine. Dad is smart. He has the glasses that mirror, so you can't tell if somebody. Not while I'm talking.
And stop for a sec.
I didn't know that you were
Got it.
gonna. Okay. Anyway,
Yes.
does anybody have any other questions? If not,
Any
If I
comments on?
do,
Yes.
if I do, I know where to find you.
Oh.
yeah, it's not that hard to find me.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you guys also know about the Danelle Delgado training that is on Wednesdays from Shaklee? Is everyone aware of that? I think Jack took advantage of that today. Has anybody been on today's? Maxie and Jack?
I felt like it was helpful.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a lot of good information.
did they record it?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
And I
Then
think it's
I'll,
also posted in that one specific Facebook group that they have for that.
okay,
I know they would have a reading list in that Facebook group.
I downloaded it.
okay.
I can upload it as well, but yeah.
And also, in case you guys haven't seen yet, we have this special this month with a 15% off. Just so you all know and can take advantage of that. It's 15% off 3 plus products of the gift guide list. And there's quite a few products on there. So if you have any 3 products or more from that list in your order, you will receive 15% off that as a promo if you put the promo code in. So that's important to put that promo code in. It won't happen by itself. And you can do that on loyalty orders and put that promo code in beforehand. And then whenever it goes through, if it goes through before that time frame and supplies are still good, then you will receive that 15% off those products. And there's a lot of good products on that. I'm surprised they are very, very generous with how many things they've included in that. Anybody have any questions on that one? And then it's not official yet, but just so you know, we will probably get another new seasonal protein flavor in November. So I think Amber, I think middle of November is when we will get another seasonal protein flavor. At least that's what the plan was.
Do you guys have any inkling or inside knowledge of what it could be?
Yes, I do believe, as far as we know, it's going to be peppermint bark.
Oh, nice.
action.
I think it's a great holiday flavor. Anything else? Anybody else?
Amber froze at the best time.
Oh, no.
She's so excited.
She's just
Yeah.
continuously excited. You were frozen just as you were super excited. Amber, it was the best place ever.
It's that jumping up and down, Amber, that did it.
Awesome.
Funny. Okay, and then last but not least, I wanted to say there are some people that you may benefit from following on Instagram. And that is, I think we've mentioned some of them before. Maxi, chime in.
I'll put them in the comments.
Yeah, Maxi will put them in the comments. So if you want to write those down or follow them, they do a very good job in connecting and being themselves on social media so that they will connect with people that they get along with very well. Let's see if I want to add anybody.
I'm still in the process of typing.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Now I'm done.
you're done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. There were a couple more. Let me see.
Especially because these people are so good at promoting Shaklee through social media in a way that is either very professional or very authentic. And I
Right.
think that's important to see so that one has an idea of what direction you can go into. I know I've gotten, inspired. Oh, I was about to write that. Yeah. And by a lot of those. And like my two favorites of those are, three favorite are probably Erica, Serena, and Sam. And these are also people who are doing this successfully, right? So that's also a component. They, I know that almost everybody on that list has successfully completed the quarterly incentives and used social media in a way to get there, or have advanced in rank several times using social media. So it is helpful to follow these people and to keep an eye on them. As creepy as that sounds, we mean it in a very non-creepy, loving way.
But there are many Erica Ulrichs. Which one is the one you're talking about?
So the one I'm talking about is the Erica Ulrich.
Okay. Yeah, I got her.
Mhm.
She was actually on top of the list of all of those Erica Ulrichs.
Yeah, probably because you have, I'm assuming, some people in common.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, both.
Is she German? She sounds so German. The name sounds totally German. Erica Ulrich.
That's true. It is. Hadn't thought of that.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's helpful to see and get some ideas of what you can do for stories, and that is helpful, or also what posts go well. And yes, those people have been very successful with their social media in many, many ways. So it's good examples for us as we grow our business on social media, which is very heavily used right now. Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions? If not, thank you very much for being on. Tonight is our first meeting for our new book in book club. We're starting with, it starts with Why, chapters 1 and 2. Anybody is welcome. And if you come, we'll love to see you. If not, we'll be happy to see you next week again. Bye.
Bye.